150.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike, and today is the 9th of October. It's 11 a.m. This is the first of our 2 live streams today. We're going to be streaming live at 7 p.m. this evening, 8 hours from now. We're going to be doing our 1 key cold storage wallet away. We're going to be giving away that to one of our OGs. However, do not worry if you're not an OG, we are going to be giving you new as a runners-up prize. So 8 hours from now, we will be streaming again. But for now, we have a lot to get through, including the so-called identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. Who could that possibly be? Well, I don't agree with them anyway, but we're going to go through who they think it is. So what we're going to go through today then, we're going to go through MicroStrategy, we're going to look at Aave and stablecoins, some altcoin picks, we're going to look at the SCR airdrop, we're going to look at AI, we're going to look at the Dupe app, and then if there's any time left, I'll get through some of your questions. Packet has asked a question already, I'll get to that in a second. Good morning, Solo Sky, MD, Kishan, Danny. I hope you are all well. I'm looking forward to tonight's stream, which I am looking forward to. In fact, we will be going to the office in about 2 hours from now. So we're going to go really early. We're going to go make a video about the actual hardware wallet itself. So there's a busy day today, busy day. And as a result, I am probably not going to be streaming tomorrow because by the time we get home tonight, there's simply not enough hours to do the turnaround for tomorrow's show. One day, when we have enough people, we will be able to do tomorrow's show as well. Now, before I forget, bottom left-hand corner, 176,000 almost followers. Please give us a follow if you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and all of those good things. Normally we stream Monday to Friday, 11 a.m., and we stream on a Monday and a Thursday at 9 p.m. when we do the trading shows. Occasionally we do the giveaway shows, which are on Wednesdays. That is tonight. We are giving away hardware tonight. A few weeks ago, we did the Chronos night where we gave away Chronos tokens. We then did the Mew night where we gave away Mew. So we're always trying to give back as much as we can afford to give back and as much as we are donated to give back. So we do try our best. Now we have a poll question of the day, which is slightly different. It's not a crypto related question. The answer is very simple. Kamala or Donald? Who do you think is going to win? We are 21. We are 4 weeks away from the elections in America, and it's starting to heat up, I would say. Good morning, Eugene. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Danny, and everybody else. Now, very quickly then, thoughts on Crow. For those of you that don't know, the SEC issued a Wells notice to an exchange in August, I think it was, end of August, and the company has decided to sue the SEC. I can't mention names, obviously, because we stream on a different platform. However, the Wells notice does not mention Crow. The CRO token is not mentioned in the Wells notice. It is more to do with the likes of Sol and Cardano and other top-tier coins. But it doesn't mention the actual token itself. So for me, I think this is fairly bullish. I also think that this is the kind of thing where I think the writing is on the wall for Gary Gensler. We all know that Gary Gensler is appointed by the President of America. Donald Trump has already said he's going to sack Gary Gensler on day one. If he sacks Gary Gensler on day one, there is a good chance, we've been talking about Hester Peirce a lot on here, but there is also a chance that potentially it will be the ex-Robin Hood lawyer put in charge. He was part of the crypto team at Robin Hood. He is likely to become the head of the SEC if it isn't Hester Peirce. So we're going to get a pro-crypto head of the SEC from February, March next year. It's October. We've got less than 6 months to go. I think it's a bullish move to sue the SEC. I think it's the right move. I think the more pressure applied to the SEC, the more it's going to crack. They're going after the wrong people. They didn't go after FTX because he was the second biggest donor to the Democrat Party. So if you want evidence to show that this is politically motivated, just look at the donors to the Democrat Party and you'll see why FTX had meetings with Gary Gensler, had meetings with Joe Biden. So understand that they are going after people not for the reasons that they are doing naughty things, but for the reasons that they are trying to suppress the growth of crypto. Yeah, it's not the end for Crow. Certainly not. Absolutely, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I don't know how it could be the end because it's not mentioned in the in the Wells notice. So I wouldn't worry about it. And again, it's a utility token. It's not. It's a token that's used for different purposes. I can't go into too much depth on it, but I again. You got to understand, when you watch YouTubers and these calls and these social media influencers, they're doing it for clicks and they're doing it for attention. I said yesterday, it's easy to go and make a video saying $10 million Bitcoin, $100 million Bitcoin. It will get clicks. But then when you go through to the video, we're never going to see $100 million BTC in my lifetime. Maybe in the next 100 years, but certainly not in the next 5 or 6 years. So the clicks are what people care about rather than the content. And so and mainstream media is the same. They're all about sound bites and headlines which trigger a response because that's what they believe is the way to do reporting. And I don't agree with that. I think that is wholly unfair, especially for people watching this who are new to crypto that don't understand crypto. If you were to come on here and watch me and I was saying we're going to hit $1 million for Bitcoin, $100,000 for Ethereum by the end of next year, I know that's not going to happen. But why are people saying those things? Why is Rich Dad Poor Dad? Why is Crypto Zeros? Why are they saying these things when they know deep down it's not going to happen? And you can't hide behind coulda, woulda, shoulda because that's no defense in my opinion. I think it's immoral. And I think saying that saying that these meme coins that they're being paid, which end up being scams, saying that they're going to go to $100 billion market cap, it's just false. It's not fair on the people watching. And yes, we suffer because we don't put out those kind of headlines, but Crow isn't going to go anywhere, certainly not. The same way that BNB isn't going to go anywhere, or Sol. They're not going to go anywhere in the short term, and I wouldn't worry about it. Please pray for my sister in Florida, Eugene. I have been keeping an eye on this Category 5, they want to call it a Category 6 storm. If you are unable to leave your area, I pray to whichever God you all follow that people stay safe, because it looks horrific. You know, the eye of the storm is 3.5 miles wide. The actual storm itself is what, 300 miles wide, 150 miles wide? It looks horrific. So I pray that you are safe. Discover Crypto, yeah, again, they're all headlines. The number, I mean, look at what's been dead. Sol died last year when it was at $8. Everybody said that Sol was dead. You watch those same streamers today, and they're going to tell you that Sol's going to be the biggest runner in the top 10. Why? We were still saying Sol was a good coin to buy at $25. They weren't. They were saying it was finished. Cardano is finished. XRP is finished. BNB is finished. They're all headlines that they throw at you to get you to watch their content. Now, I'm not saying their content is bad. They have researchers, it's well put together, they're scripted, they're high-end quality videos, yes. But I don't agree with this narrative of being shocked at everything. Yeah, so I hope everybody in Florida is safe. Anyway, we better get on with some content. Otherwise, we're going to be here, I don't know when, into tomorrow. Right then, Bitcoin coming in at 62,130. Again, I don't think anything's going to happen tomorrow. Anything's going to happen until tomorrow, because that's when we get the data coming out. It's the CPI data is coming out tomorrow on Thursday. So I think we're going to chop between 61.8, 62.5. We're going to chop around there for the next 24 hours, I think. Ethereum coming in above 2,400. Excuse me, BNB's had a pump because I believe there's an airdrop that we're going to talk about, the SCR airdrop, SRC airdrop, I can't remember what I've called it, SCR airdrop. That's going to come up. We'll go through that. Solana is at 143. XRP still at 53 cents. Again, not much movement. This is kind of like the calm. I shouldn't use that term. I was going to say it's the calm before the storm, but this is the kind of the pre-data charts, the pre-data market at the minute, where yes, we're getting a little bit of up and down, but I'm not expecting volatility. Maybe until people try and front run tomorrow's CPI data. Maybe that starts tonight. Maybe that starts tomorrow. We could be at 61 tomorrow. We could be at 60 tomorrow. We could be at 63 tomorrow morning. It all depends on how they think it's going to go. Eigenlayer clearly found its base at $3.50. That's back up to $4. Monero is pumping. Tron is up. Brett, Phantom, BNB. I put another post out this morning reiterating my 3 picks. Brett, Popcat, and Mew. Still my 3 picks. Haven't changed my opinion yet. I may drop one of them if the price goes too high. So if Brett goes to 2 billion, I might take it out of my 3 picks, because you should have been getting in now. That's the point. Get in below $1 billion and it will have a good run. I'm not going to sit here and say go and buy Popcat. I think Popcat's over $1 billion as well, so I might have to redo my 3 picks. They have kind of front run where I expected them to be. Losers, again, I was telling you not to buy Sui. I think it's going to retrace. Maybe 170, maybe 155. I can't remember what I said exactly, but I think it's going to come back down. WorldCoin, don't care about WorldCoin. Celestia, I don't think we're going to see $20 until the end of the bull run again. FTT token, I hope it goes to 0. Mantra had a bit of a pump. It's up 46% over the last 30 days. It needs to have a retracement. Mantra, I was saying, was a good buy between 60 and 90 cents. You had ample opportunity to buy Mantra between 60 and 90 cents. We're now at $1.34. I would pray, if I was you, for a retracement to get in on Mantra, because it's a $1.1 billion market cap. At 65 cents, it was $600 million market cap. That was the time to buy it, in my opinion. And again, I am going to be wrong at the end of the bull run. I'm just trying to maximize, hopefully maximize your return. Near Protocol, I think at $4.88 is a good buy. I think that should be about $6 right now. So not too many losers. Popcat's down there as well. Popcat, 1.1 billion. Again, we're getting up towards the top end of where I would buy some of these coins. You've got to think about, is it going to do a 20x from here? Now, a 20x from $500 million is 10 billion. A 20x from 1.1 billion is 22 billion. We're getting to the point where not all of these coins are going to have those kind of runs. So just bear that in mind when you look back on some videos that I may have done 6 months ago, 12 months ago. The same with anybody. They give you these price targets based on what's happening there and then. You can't go 4 years back in time and say, you said Bitcoin was going to top out at $35,000, because that was 4 years ago. So everything has to kind of been taken into the context of when it was said. And I do stick by those 3, but now I'm starting to think that maybe Popcat and Brett are going to run a bit earlier. So these are the top Solana ecosystem projects by development. Again, we covered something similar to this at the end of last week. As you'd expect, Solana is up there. But Drift Protocol is in there, solid project. Orca is in there, solid. Dex. Pyth is in there. I've made a video about that. Please go and watch that video. It shows you how to stake your Pyth. Wormhole is up there. They're always building connections. Wormhole is something you would use to bridge from, say, Ethereum to Solana or vice versa. Gito, Helium, I'm not a fan of. Metaplex is in there, nice to see. So again, it doesn't necessarily indicate these are the best projects to buy on Solana. It indicates what are the busiest projects in terms of building out their products. Now I need to go and turn my chat on so I can read if you are saying anything. We're already 15 minutes in. I need to get myself in gear. Otherwise, we're going to overrun again, aren't we? Right then. Where are we up to? Where are we up to? Bhutan, yes. So we talked about... Let's turn this volume down a bit. We talked about... we talk a lot about El Salvador. We talk about America buying 1 million Bitcoin. We talk about the amount that the UK holds, the amount that China holds. We very rarely talk about Bhutan or Bhutan. They are mining, believe it or not, and this is their Bitcoin stockpile of how much they are mining and how much they have. So it's not just El Salvador. When people say to you, it's one country holding Bitcoin, it's not. There are other small nation states buying, mining. I know El Salvador, they're going to build a geothermal mine out there to mine their own Bitcoin. And again, more evidence, Bitcoin on average completely outperforms gold, Dow Jones and the S&P in Q4. There is no second best. Again, already we are looking at a 23% gain over the last quarter. So expect fireworks. Expect bottom right hand corner, we're going to call it the Darren Brown number. That 74,000 is going to be here before anybody says anything. Right then, what are we down here? OP, Optimism, yeah, good project. And again, the thing I like about Optimism is lots of projects are building using the OP code base. So for example, Base is based on Optimism. There's other projects out there, there's far too many to mention, using Optimism. I think now, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, way back when they started, Arbitrum and Optimism didn't have an identity, whereas Matic and Polygon did. Now we can clearly see what Arbitrum is trying to be in terms of DeFi, and we can clearly see what Optimism is trying to be. So now we have our elevator pitch on what those projects are. I always say, if you are in a project, you should be able to explain to me what that project does in the time it takes an elevator to go up 2 or 3 floors, or a lift, whatever you want to call it. And in most cases, you can do that. And in some cases, people just buy coins because they watched a crypto influencer say this is a good coin to buy, go and buy it. And that's not the way you should invest. Right then, so this HBO documentary came out, and I said that they weren't going to get it right, but it would be interesting to see who they picked. I thought, and everybody else thought, they were going to point at Sassaman. They didn't. They've pointed at Todd, this gentleman here. Now, the comment that stood out to me is the comment which I kind of made on here the other day, which is this one down here. Satoshi is likely a group of cryptographers or a dead individual, which is kind of pretty much what I said. Anyone else would have leaked by now. This fame would have gone to their head. That's the comment I agree with. I think that whoever created Bitcoin, and I do think it was an individual, but I don't think, as I said again, I don't think the individual, you've got to remember, the proof of work mechanism in Bitcoin was developed by somebody else. The PGP was developed by somebody else. Satoshi brought everything together and wrote the white paper, okay? And it's one individual who wrote the white paper and one individual that pulled all the parts together. But it was a collective of the likes of Hal Finney, maybe even Craig Wright, who came together to create Bitcoin. Now, I think they were all clever enough to understand that you can't have a single point of failure. So Satoshi was a pseudonym maybe for somebody that never existed. I mentioned the likes of these detectives that you see on TV that always say it's the third man. I think it's like that. I think Satoshi was somebody that they all referred to as an individual who never actually existed. Or if they did exist, they just basically were the project manager of it. And again, the most important thing here, it's not important who Satoshi Nakamoto was. That's not important. I saw some utter BS today saying that Einstein didn't invent E equals MC squared. Okay, he discovered it. And then they use the same comparison that say Bitcoin wasn't invented by Satoshi, he discovered it. Absolute BS. This idolization is nonsense. It was created by a group of very clever people. It's programmable money, it's uncensorable, and it doesn't have somebody that you can go and take down. And I think that's all we need to care about. I have my own opinion on it, as I've said before. It's not an American citizen, it's somebody else. And I'll leave it at that. Right then, moving very quickly on. Let's move on. Where are we up to? Let me just check and keep an eye on chat. Oh, Mags asked a question. Let me have a little look at that question after this. Right then, this is only from an hour and a half ago. The future will be streamed live. We Robot. Now, I think Tesla are going to start selling primes. That's what I think this is. I think you're going to be able to buy a prime robot, or they're going to launch that as the next product. That's what I think that is. Right then. Now, before we get on to this, I'm very quickly going to go through the question from Mags when I've read it. This is what I talk about all the time. If any of you have ever played Hungry Hippos, it's a game with 5 or 6 plastic hippos around a circle, and in the middle are marbles, and the hippos try and get as many marbles as possible. Now, I am very quickly going to show you the issue that we have with Bitcoin. But before I do, let me read the question from Mags. Merit Circle MC is migrating to Beam with a 1/100 conversion rate. What do you say about this? What price can Beam reach? So Beam, I held, was it 4 cents? I held Beam at. Let's have a quick look. I think if we go to CoinGecko, we won't crash. If we go to CoinMarketCap, we're going to crash. Yeah, I think it's about 4 cents, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. 4 cents on the dot. Don't know how I remembered that, but I did. Right, the market cap is absolutely fractionable. It's under $10 million. It's tiny. Now, I've looked at this coin and I've held it for a little while. We had our wick up, which was back at the end of last year. We are way down here. I think, again, you need to have adoption of a blockchain for a blockchain to work. And there's loads of blockchains out there which are good blockchains. Nobody uses them. You also have other blockchains out there which are terrible that everybody uses. You know, Solana's not great, but it's fast, it's got adoption. Other blockchains like Sui are starting to see people use it. The question is Beam going to reach the critical mass between now and the end of next year? That's the question. 12 months, 13 months, can Beam get enough adoption and enough metrics behind it to make it have a blow off top? Because I guarantee you, in the bear market, this is going to fall to 1 or 2 cents. That's what happens. So you've got to ask yourself a question. Have I got 12 months in me to buy Beam, hold it, and sell at the bull run? Is it going to go from a $10 million market cap to a $500 million market cap? Is it going to 50x in the next 12 months? What does the roadmap say? That would be my advice. And again, I'm not going to go off too much on a tangent. So here's the roadmap. You've got a development roadmap. You've got the hard forks. So they're pretty well through their roadmap. The DEX revamp, possible sidechain support, interesting. Again, I said this, not 3 weeks, about 2 weeks ago. Personally, I am backing the biggest horses right now. And yes, I have Beam. I've got a little bit of Beam. I think I've got $20 of it, if that. I'm not going to buy any more. It's not in my stables, should we say. However, I did review it, and we did give it away on a stream, and we did like the project. But you have to look at projects in terms of, you know, when you look at sporting teams, cricket, rugby, football, you could have a Spanish side that goes to the European Championships with a load of 18 and 19-year-olds. They could be the best team, but they're not ready for winning the European Championships in, let's say, 2024. But in 2028, they're going to be 23, 24. They're going to be coming into their prime. They're going to win the European Championships. You look at the Rugby World Cup that England won back in 2002, was it? We hit the prime on 90% of those players, and we won the World Cup. We've gone into other World Cups with teams that aren't at their prime. Use that analogy when you look at crypto. Which projects are going into this bull run ready and in their prime? Chainlink, certainly Solana, AVAX, TON, maybe, but TON could do with another 4 years. Ethereum, certainly. Bitcoin, certainly. XRP, with the court case. Do we need another 4 years for XRP because of what they're doing with the banks, the CBDCs, their own stable coins? Are they undercooked? That's the question you want to ask yourself, because it can be the greatest project on earth. But if it's not ready in 12 months' time, why are you buying it? If you're going to buy it because you think it's going to go to $1 or $2, but it's not ready yet, wait for the bear market, which is 2026. That's my advice on any token like that. Is the further we get into the end of this year and the further we get into the beginning of next year, the risks you take should fall. And you should be looking from the runners from the pack, which I said, I think, on Monday. Somebody's going to run from the pack. Sui maybe. SEI could be another one. One of these is going to do a Solana and go from nowhere to $200. Something's going to happen. Is it going to be Beam? I don't think so. Be careful when you're looking at these 10, 20, $30 million coins. By all means, have a bag of what you would call high risk future plays. By all means, go and do that. I'm not going to tell you what to put in your portfolio, and maybe put in some of these coins that you like, but keep it as a separate portfolio and treat it with correct risk management. So don't go and put half your portfolio into these size coins. One of them could do really well and you could make $100,000 out of it, and I will be wrong, but I'm 99 times out of 100 going to be right. That's what I would say. Do I DCA into Bitcoin? I've been DCAing into Bitcoin since 2016. I've DCA'd into Bitcoin. The only time I sold Bitcoin was Christmas 2021, when Bitcoin was on a rip. I was selling my Bitcoin on a weekly basis to basically pay for Christmas. So Christmas 2021 was paid for by Bitcoin. That was it. Now, this is some data. This is to do with the impending problem that we have with Bitcoin, and I'm also going to show you Ethereum. And that is, if we go over the year to date, so if we only go back to January, the reserve that we had at its peak in January was 3.05 million Bitcoin on exchanges. Okay, this is only a period of, let's call it 9 months. Now we've gone from 3.05 million to today, where we are at 2.62. So the purple line is what is important on this graph, not anything else. Now, again, Over a prolonged period, this is where we need to worry. So in 10 months, we've lost 10% of the supply of Bitcoin on exchanges. If this continues, we are going to go below 2 million, possibly by the end of next year. Maybe by the end of the year after, or the year after, we might go down as low as maybe 1.3, 1.4 million. Who knows what? If America goes and buys 1 million, then that's another big chunk taken. Now remember, this is 2.6 million out of a circulating supply of, let's say, 18 million. We don't have enough Bitcoin. Now, what's going to change this is the price. If Bitcoin tomorrow was $500,000, believe you me, that purple line would start to go up and to the right. Okay, people would start to take their Bitcoin out of cold storage, stick it onto exchanges and start to sell it for $500,000. Don't think that won't happen. But this is a terminal decline in Bitcoin on exchanges. And for those of you, especially in Florida, I was watching one of the YouTubers that I follow is a guy called Adam the Woo. He's just a nice guy to have on in the background. He lives in Celebration, which is, I think, inland and up from the water table, he was saying. And he went to the supermarket. They're running out of water. They're running out of bread. They're running out of toilet paper. Why? Because the demand has taken the supply. When we start to see $100,000 Bitcoin, this purple line is going to drop even further. And we are going to see possibly less than 2.5 million on exchanges by April, May next year. That's the acceleration that we're going to see. Now, that's fine for Bitcoin, but don't forget, we have another non-inflationary asset in Ethereum. Ethereum has gone from a peak of 20.5 million down to, at worst case, 18.5 million. So 2 million, again, nearly 10% of the supply of Ethereum on exchanges has gone. Now, yes, we can blame the ETFs for this, but there's more money coming off exchanges, the more Ethereum, more Bitcoin coming off exchanges than those ETFs are buying. So there is now 2 terminal declines in crypto. Bitcoin has just over 10% of the supply on exchanges. The supply of Ethereum, I think, is 120 million. So we've got 15% of the supply of Ethereum on exchanges. It's not a lot. 85 out of every 100 Ethereum is not on an exchange. Yes, a lot of it is locked into Lido, a lot of it's locked into the Ethereum staking. But the point of the matter is, this isn't something to worry about now, but it's something that I talk about all the time because it's like telegraphing the most obvious thing that's going to happen, and that is a supply shock. And that supply shock might not happen for another 3 years, maybe even 4 years. But if Trump gets in and buys 1 million Bitcoin, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, everybody is going to follow. Then we run out of Bitcoin, and then we see $1 million Bitcoin. That could be 5 years away. And there will be a lot of selling. There'll be a lot of equilibrium where the amount stays on the exchanges. This could change direction towards September next year when the price goes up over $100,000. Yes, they're all on the cards. We're going to see more. But over a long period of time, we don't have enough Bitcoin. And we can go further out. Or we can go further. Actually, no, we can't. The track graph doesn't do that. So I wanted to throw that in at the beginning as well, just to show you why I talk about dropping Bitcoin levels on exchanges all the time, because it's not really in the mainstream. People don't really point it out. But it's something that, again, when we go to less than 2 million, it's going to be all over the press. That's going to compound the problem. And that could be, as I said, getting 600,000 off the exchanges is going to take a long time. Maybe another year or two, but it's going to be there. Now, MicroStrategy is looking to get to $200, 2% away from its all-time high. It's gone up 1,208% since 2020. Now, the thing about MicroStrategy is always to look at the fact that it's a proxy Bitcoin play. If you buy MicroStrategy stock, you are pretty much buying Bitcoin. I think 97% of the value, probably a lot more now, more like 99% of the value in MicroStrategy is in the fact it's got 252,000 Bitcoin. They do have a turnover, but it's negligible compared to the amount of Bitcoin they've got. Now, they were very recently overtaken in terms of the top Bitcoin holders by BlackRock. I think Grayscale has always been number one. They had 600,000, maybe even 700,000 Bitcoin. But again, the company stock behaves like a leveraged version of Bitcoin during bullish phases, reflecting the close correlation between the two. Crypto Quant, an on-chain analytics firm, commented on this matter. So it's gone up 1,200%. So you put $100 into this 4 years ago, it'd be worth what? $1,200 now? No, $12,000, whatever it is. And it's gone up more than the value of Bitcoin, which I am surprised about. However, they are continually buying Bitcoin. The American government allegedly have 68,000 Bitcoin to sell now from Silk Road. Peter Schiff called out Michael Saylor on Twitter and said, you need to go and buy that Bitcoin. That's not going to happen. But I do think if that sale happens, it is going to depress the price of Bitcoin, most certainly. I'm just checking chat. The choice of football teams. Listen, when Man United come good, okay, you will suffer. I know you will. You'll become a lurker. You won't speak in chat. So MicroStrategy's got 1 billion in available funds. Again, it could overtake Grayscale, but Grayscale's been selling since the Bitcoin ETF began. And again, we don't need to read any more about that. All you need to say is if you want to buy a Bitcoin play, a Bitcoin stock, then you, in my opinion, should be looking at the likes of MicroStrategy. If you're looking for a really good tech-savvy play, I would look at ARK Invest because they invest in the likes of Tesla. They hold, I think they hold MicroStrategy, obviously. They hold stocks in Square. So if you think the future is tech, certainly go and have a look at those. Except if Kamala Harris wins, then don't go anywhere near any stocks for about 2 years because when she brings in unrealized gains, it's going to be the end of the American stock market. It's never going to happen, I know, but the point of the matter is it shouldn't have even been mentioned. Right then, let's move very quickly on. We are going to run out of time. I always try and get everything done in an hour. And sometimes it happens, sometimes we overrun. Now, this is the state of play. Oh, there is my little line, which is called the midpoint. And KB in chat, or KD in chat, sorry, will know all about this. We are sitting halfway between 61.3 and 62.8. So if you take the not the average, if you take the average of those two, you get to about 62,100 or something like that. And that is exactly where we are sitting. I think we're waiting for the CPI data to come out tomorrow. And I think I drew a lovely circle yesterday, and I basically said, if we sit within that range, that's what's going to happen until Thursday. Then we're going to see volatility. Now, again, I said yesterday, I think it was, I was talking about Tinder, not the dating app, but something that's going to start the fire. Now, we think we are in October. We are on the 9th of October. We've got 22 days left to do a 20% move. Something is going to be used. One piece of news is going to be used to rip us to the upside if October is going to happen. And it doesn't have to be that specific bit of news. It just needs to be the tinder to start the fire. Now, again, it should tell us in here. It should tell us on this. There we go. Now, one of them, here we go. So tomorrow, we're going to get the inflation rate year on year, which is expected to be 2.3. The core inflation is expected to be 3.2, and the forecast and actual, I think we're pretty much going to come in on target. That's what I think. I think we're going to come in on target tomorrow. Remember, I think Packer or somebody said yesterday about are they just going to take the lid off the real state of the economy? No, I don't. This is the last CPI reading before the election. This is going to be as bullish as they can possibly be. So Kamala can turn around and say, look how well the economy's doing. I'm going to make the economy great again. Mega. That's what she could go for. He's got MAGA. She could go for mega. Make the economy great again. I should go and work for Kamala Harris. I'd do a better job than allowing her on TV for a start off. So again, we're sitting at the midpoint. We're not going to move. 62.5, 61.8, something like that. That's where we're going to sit. Don't think we're going to move from there. Let's move on. I did call this the alts ahoy day today because I was going to look at alts a lot more than Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana because I know everybody doesn't care about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana all the time. So we're going to have a look at Aave. We're then going to go and have a look at some altcoin picks, the SCR airdrop. So we are going to mix it up a bit today. Aave could soon launch GHO stablecoin on Avalanche and Base. Again, there's lots of arguing on Twitter, and it's like listening to 3-year-olds. I say this all the time. This stablecoin business, stablecoins bring liquidity to blockchains, and Ethereum is the top dog. We don't need to talk about any of that. We talked about it till we're blue in the face. But a stablecoin, why is it important? If I am on Cardano, okay, and I am holding ADA, and ADA goes to $1.50, and I want to sell my ADA, and I am on Cardano, and they don't have a decent stable coin to sell into, what do I do with my ADA? I send it to an exchange and I sell it, or I convert it into something else and bridge it somewhere else, okay? But the point of that is, both scenarios involve the money leaving that blockchain. Solana, for a very long time, people would sell into Sol. For example, the Pi, which was only a year ago, the Pi airdrop a year ago, ripped the price of Solana because the airdrop, me included, I think I got 22 Sol worth of an airdrop back then. Obviously, it's worth a lot more than it was when I sold it, but I sold into Sol. Now we have a lot more liquidity on Solana. We have PayPal, for example. You see people selling into stables more than the native currency. So it also means the money stays in that ecosystem. So having stable coins is a healthy thing to have on your blockchain because the person buying ADA from you is also on the Cardano blockchain or Solana, selling it on Solana for PYUSD. It keeps the blockchain healthy. What you don't want is Cardano that doesn't have a stable coin, USDE or whatever it's going to be, and then DAI or DY, whatever it's called. They are working on it. It's not great right now. So when you see Aave, when you see AVAX, when you see the layer 2s getting their stable coins, it's just healthy for the blockchain. That's why it's important. So the Aave DAO is preparing to bring its GHO stablecoin to the Base and Avalanche blockchains following 2 proposals laid out. Now, Avalanche is where the bone of contention is with the Cardano community. They want to know why Avalanche is getting a stablecoin and Cardano can't have one. And Charles has turned around and said, I am not in charge of the negotiations with stablecoins. There are 3 stablecoins talking to Cardano at the minute. I am absolutely certain one of them is going to join Cardano at some point, but it's upsetting the apple cart a little bit. So Base and Avalanche are both going to get the GHO stablecoin. This is great. This is what you want to see. It's already on Arbitrum. Building on this success, it's now time to expand to other networks. The lessons learned from the Arbitrum launch highlight the importance of coordinated efforts in several key areas. Remember, a stable coin that's on multiple different blockchains still has to remain pegged. It still has to remain nearly $1, 0.999, 0.99, whatever it might be. And from time to time, they do depeg and people panic and it goes to 0.97 or 0.96. Yes, it has happened in the past, but you need these stable coins, and you need multitudes of them. You don't just want Circle and Tether to be in charge of stable coins. You do, believe it or not, want PayPal. You do, believe it or not, want Ripple. Ripple's been testing its stable coin. It burnt 350 million in a test run a few days ago. That's on the cards. And again, these stable coins want to grow in size because they make money. They want to be a $10 billion stable coin as much as you want that stable coin on their blockchain. So it's a kind of great symbiotic relationship that they have. So Aave is going to launch its GHO on Avalanche and Base. It's great for Base as well. It's what you want to see. So all in all, really positive for me, really positive for Aave. And at some point, it's going to be really positive for Cardano. So let's not worry too much about Cardano. Good morning, Tariq. You are late. You are forgiven. I hope you are well, sir. Remember to smash the like button, say hello in chat. I am here. I am not going to stop ranting just because the camera's turned on. I am keeping an eye on the camera to make sure it's working. It seems to be working. Packers left a comment. What, you know, some of these comments don't show up in chat. So your comment, New Zealand just cut 50 basis points. We seem to comment. Yeah, again, that tends to happen. America and the larger economies, they cut first and they also raise first. The Eurozone is the slowest economic area I've ever seen. They are 6 months behind America, always. And I think it's paralysis by analysis. I think there's just too many cooks. Right, top altcoins to buy for 100% returns in the near term. Remember, I did not write this. Eleanor wrote this. I am simply going to disagree or agree with her based on what I know about these coins. And again, these are dangerous headlines. If you go and try and do research on crypto, the first place you should start is CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, and you should go and look at the website itself, and you should go and look at their Twitter accounts. Because people like Eleanor, and I'm not singling her out, they may very well be sponsored to write this article by one of the coins. They might just try and grab a headline. Let's go and see what Eleanor thinks you should be buying today. Let's skip down. How long do we have left? 15 minutes. We are so far behind. Okay, top altcoins to consider in the anticipated alt season. Okay, we don't need to run all that nonsense. Phantom, believe it or not, yes, I agree. We've mentioned this before. It's under new leadership. They are going to be moving Phantom in a different direction. That's needed. I think new blood sometimes and new direction sometimes is what's needed. Sometimes you need an old head. Other times you need energy and enthusiasm. And I think Phantom's got the right people now. I think it's turned the corner. Again, 3 months ago, I would have said this was a trash zombie chain. Doesn't make any money. It's a waste of time. I've changed my opinion simply because they've changed direction. You're allowed to change your opinion. Remember, this woke, whatever you want to call it, of you are what you said you were 2 years ago is just nonsense. As an intelligent person watching this, you are allowed to change your opinion when new information is provided to yourself. If Kamala Harris came out tomorrow and stood there and gave a 1-hour keynote speech, step by step, on how she was going to fix the American economy with facts, figures, numbers, how the military was going to work, healthcare was going to work, how she was going to get inflation under control, help families, and she nailed it, I'd change my opinion on her. Of course I would. Why wouldn't you? But she's not. She will answer every question the same way. I grew up in a middle-class family. I had doctors, I had firemen, I had nurses. Doesn't answer the question on how people can't afford bread, does it, love? Okay? You base your opinion on the information you have to hand. That's why I tell you to do your own research. Go and watch people. Don't watch me and take my opinion as gospel. It certainly isn't. Go and watch other people. Go and read their Twitter accounts. Go and see the charts. Go and look at the tokenomics. It's all about you learning to do your own research. Don't come here and think, I'm going to do it in one day. It's going to take you 6 to 12 months to really start to get to grips with crypto. When I first started, I had no idea, 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was, I had no idea what half the coins did. proof of work, proof of stake, algorithmic stable coins. It was all mumbo jumbo. Just takes time. Be patient with yourself. Phantom, yes, I do agree. I think Phantom could have a really good bull run. Genuinely do think it'll have a really good bull run. Do I hold any? No, but I think it will. Dog with Hat, do I think Dog with Hat will have a good bull run? Yes, I do. But look at its value. It is 2.5 billion. So for you to get a 10x out of Dog with Hat, it needs to go to 25 billion. Do you think it will go to 25 billion? In the last bull run, SHIB got to 37 billion. But we now have more meme coins. They're not all going to go to 30 billion. That's why I have been picking lower cap meme coins, because I think they've got a better chance of winning the race. They've got more legs, they're lighter, they're more nimble. I think this would be lucky to get to 15 billion. Unless we have an absolute horrific, not horrific, that's the wrong word, a blow off top of biblical proportions, then yes, it'll get to 25 billion. But we're going to have to see something move soon. Turbo, another one. I think quite a few of you in chat hold Turbo. Math Token, my first choice for this bull run, low cap bullish. Well, there we go. Go and check that one out. Math Token, I've never heard of it, but it could be a microcap. Fair play. Turbo then. A lot of people in chat hold Turbo. Turbo, fast growing meme coin on the smart chain, listed. Now, the issue I've got as well, we were talking about liquidity before. Where are the coins going to pump the most? They're going to pump on the biggest chains, the chains with the most liquidity. Solana, Ethereum and its layer 2s, including Base. The smart chain, all chains with lots of liquidity. If you come on here and say, oh, I've got this coin, it's on the Avalanche network, it's going to go to a $50 billion market cap. No, it isn't. It doesn't have the liquidity on the blockchain to get it to that height. You want to look at coins that are on Solana or Ethereum related blockchains or on the smart chain. They're the three for me. There is going to be exceptions. You know, SNEC is a good coin on Cardano, but again, Cardano needs the liquidity. Look at where the liquidity is. 2 of my 3 picks for the bull run are on Solana. 1 of them is on Base. That wasn't by luck that I picked those 2. It was by the fact that Solana is the home of meme coins and Base, Brett is the biggest project on Base, so they're not going to let it fail. Simple as that. Turbo will do well. Again, I could have picked that. Is that all she's picked? So she's picked Turbo. Yes, I agree with that. Dog with Hat. Could it do 100%? Certainly it could go to... And of the 3, I think certainly Phantom is the best choice. And it's not a meme coin, it's actually a blockchain. So Phantom for me. And for those of you that have never looked at Phantom, it's really pretty cool. It's like a Halloween themed blockchain. Everything's named after ghouls and ghosts and goblins and all that kind of stuff. It's really quite cool. But it died a death. Nobody really wanted to go near it. Now, moving on very quickly because we are hurtling out of time. And we don't want to hurtle out of time. Remember, smash the like button and give us a follow if you are new here. Ethereum Layer 2 scroll to airdrop 15% of its SCR token to its community. This is breaking news. I am going to make a video about this tomorrow. The SCR token is going to be airdropped. This is an airdrop. They've been few and far between since about maybe May or June, maybe even April. We were doing a lot of airdrop videos because there's a lot of airdrops going on. Recently, the airdrops have been more ton related. They've been hamster, they've been cats, they've been dogs, they've been clicky, waste of time games. This is a different kettle of fish. It's the 6th largest Ethereum Layer 2 blockchain by value locked. The project will give 15% of its 1 billion supply to 2 airdrops, 7% for the first, 8% for the second. And this is expected to take place over the next 12 to 8 months. Investors will get 17%, 25% to the ecosystem. There's its distribution. Is that a fair distribution? 27% to investors and the foundation is solid. Yes, I will go with that. 35% to the ecosystem growth, fine. 23% to contributors. We'd need to know what contributors are. and 15% in airdrops. I think that's fine. And then there's one there that isn't actually allocated. Don't know why, but there we go. I think that's a fair breakdown for me. So it's a ZK EVM rollup. Currently ranks as the 6th largest with 1.18 billion. This is the thing. I've never heard of it. And it's already the 6th largest Ethereum layer 2. You can't possibly follow every project. No matter who you are, you can't do it. That's why I say you shouldn't have 50 coins in your portfolio. How do you keep up with them? What happens if you miss a show or somebody gets sacked or the CEO steps down and you wake up and you see that your coin's down 40% because you missed it on Twitter and you didn't take advantage of that to maybe buy more or sell or whatever? You can't hold 50 in my opinion. You need to hold a number that's manageable. I had never heard of Scroll. It's the 6th largest layer 2. I can name maybe 4. So therefore it's 6th. I can't name the 5th one either. So it launched a points program. Again, if this is the same thing again all over again, isn't it, with Celestia? Celestia ran to $20 because people bought it to airdrop farm. The airdrop farming finished. It went from $20 to $5. Is this going to happen with Scroll? Yes, it will. So it's gone from 186 million to 1.4 billion. The Pencils Protocol Farming DApp is Scroll's largest DeFi project. Again, these aren't massive numbers. We don't need to read that bit out. We don't need to read that bit out. So basically, Scroll is coming to you. It will be airdropped. There isn't a date as far as I can see. See if I can see a date. 25th. No, that was when it was released. 25th, October the 8th. When's it going to be released? 11th of October. 11th of October, this will be out. That is 2 days from now. So it's going to be... Oh, no, I think the airdrop happens in 2 days from now. The pre-market starts on the 11th. So it's going to go live 12th or 13th of October. So it's pretty quick, which is fine. We like to see that. Again, my chat is not working properly. There we go. Alpaca has turbo. I think I remember that. Now then, 2 last articles which are not directly, again, related to the major coins. AI, I think, is going to be a big narrative next year. I said before, don't be buying coins which are half-baked. If a coin has a roadmap that goes to 2026, it's not ready for this bull run. If you've got AI, which AI projects are ready for this bull run? Render maybe? Near Protocol maybe? Which coins have just started? And are they going to get that critical adoption in the next 6 months to be ready for the bull run? That's what you've got to ask yourself. Now, what they've done, although, again, this isn't to do with coins itself, they've found a way of reducing the consumption of electricity by 95% in AI. We don't need to talk too much about this. Basically, they've created the linear complexity multiplication LMUL method that replaces the floating point multiplications with simpler integer additions in AI computations. For those unfamiliar with the term, floating point is a mathematical shorthand that allows computers to handle very large and very complex. I was doing that moons ago, back in a former life. So why do we want power consumption to fall? Because we don't want to see a reduction in power use across residential homes and companies, and then suddenly have AI come along and use 3 times the amount of energy that we've just saved. We need to try and work on that. And again, Bitcoin has been doing that ever since Elon Musk said it was bad for the environment. Bitcoin has been cutting its non-renewable sources, and it's now, I think, 45% non-renewables, 55 or 60%. I can't remember the numbers, but it's more renewable sources. Now, finally, Jupiter, the DEX, or the aggregator, sorry, has brought out its own mobile app. Again, I haven't downloaded it, I haven't used it, but again, when you're looking at things that could drive adoption, a DEX on a mobile app is just one of those things that's going to help. It's going to on-ramp people. I'm sure people will be able to deposit directly through the app. It's on Solana, but remember, Jupiter is trying to be everything on Solana. That is deep in, that's real-world assets, that's a aggregated exchange, that is a token launch platform. It's trying to do everything. I think it's ambitious, but they have teams and teams of people. They make an awful lot of money. I think it's going to be a success. It's got an app. As far as I'm aware, there is no incentive to download and install this app. So it's not like they're going to give you 5 dupe if you install the app, although that might not have been a bad idea. It is integrated with MoonPay, so you will be able to pay with Apple Pay or via PayPal. Again, this is just another step in adoption. Remember, we have our 3 terms here. We have adoption, we have regulation, and we have interoperability. And we also have the charts up again, if they work this time. There we go. So, is it bullish for crypto? Yes, especially it's bullish for Solana. We want to see apps. The question also has to be asked, how many wallets do we need on Solana? We've got Solflare, we've got Phantom, we've got Magic Eden, now we've got Jupiter. How many more do we want? Because for me, I think what we need to do is have a collection of MetaMask, of Phantom, of maybe Trust, a few others, and that's it. Currently, you need 12 wallets to access all the different blockchains. I think they should all be working together so you can use Phantom to access everything, or MetaMask to access everything. MetaMask is a pain in the backside. It's still 5 years behind on its UI compared to Phantom. But anyway, enough of me. Right then, good night everyone. Thanks Mike, appreciate knowledge. Good night Packer. I am back, Packer, in 7 hours. 7 hours from now, we're going to do another live stream. I'm going to say goodbye to a few people, but don't go anywhere. If you're watching on the red and white location, don't go anywhere. If you are not, that one's not working. I don't know why. That one went off. Okay, right, I'm going to turn one of these off. Give me 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so this is tonight. 7 hours from now, we will give an OG a physical 1-key classic wallet. We'll send it you in the post. If you are not an OG, then we are going to give away... Get rid of that advert. Make sure we're still live. There we go. We are going to give away Mew on the stream. Maybe 4 or 5 winners. We'll give away $25 of Mew tonight. So make sure, whatever you're doing, in 7 hours' time, you are watching this stream on Binance. Okay? And you will win. To enter, it is super simple. You just need to go to the YouTube channel and type in 1-key. That's it. And you'll be entered into the prize draw for the Mew that we're giving away. If you're an OG, and I've already taken the list, you're going to win this tonight. One of you is going to win this tonight, and we're going to send it you in the post. So all of you, I wish you all the best of luck, and I will see you in 7 hours' time. So thank you, everybody. I better put the screen back on so you can actually see me. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I shall give you a little wave. I'm in the bottom corner. I still haven't figured out, I still haven't worked on the scenes yet. That's something I'm going to work on. So thank you, everybody. See you all tonight. Stay safe. If you are in Florida or that area, I pray that it passes you by, or it loses its power, or whatever it can do just to get rid of it. So I hope you all stay safe. Take care.